Even Spo said that was sort of the most freak of injuries, just backpedaling, step on TJ McConnell's foot, and all of a sudden a sprain. Take us through what happened, and were you surprised that it took you out of the game?
Yeah, definitely surprised. I shot the shot, was ready to get back on defense, and then I, took a little jump, backpedal back, and I just, felt it, go in, twist my ankle. Didn't feel great. It's one of those things, man. You just get unlucky sometimes, but I've been in this situation before. Sprains are nothing new to me, so hopefully rehab it and get back as soon as possible.
What did they tell you as far as what they looked at? I know until it swells, you never know for sure.
Yeah.
But what's the thinking at this preliminary stage?
I mean, I've had a very long, I shouldn't say career, but I've had a history of being able to bounce back from these ankle sprains, and I've had a lot of them, quite a few throughout my career. So looking at this, I know I have a better understanding tomorrow of where I'm at. A lot of times, it hurts a lot in the moment, it dies down a little bit, and then the next morning it, swells up and you start feeling the pain. So I have a better grasp tomorrow, just get on this flight and go from there.
Before you went out, you were sort of part of a thing that went on with the whole team, all those bunnies at the rim, so many short shots.
Yeah.
What's going on with this team that the easiest ones let them outscore you by so much in the points in the paint if you're not getting yours?
Yeah, I mean, that's something, we've addressed as a team, capitalizing on those opportunities, something we got to get better at. I know myself is one of those guys, been missing too many easy ones, something that, myself and the team, we just got to look ourselves in the mirror and just work on it. And I guess the good thing is they're easy ones, so it should be something easy to fix.
So the first time you get a tie in this game, it's 97-97, so it just felt like after a slow start, the team trying to push up the hill to get it. What was the most challenging point in trying to get over that hump and try to get the win?
Yeah, just didn't get stops down the stretch. We were scoring enough. Couldn't find a way to get stops.
Overall, the thought about what's going on in the paint tonight was probably the largest separation you guys have had. They had over 60 points in the paint while you guys were missing opportunities. Is there anything you all can pinpoint there?
It's a combination of things. We've historically been a good paint team. It's something we emphasize. So obviously we got to shore that up. That's not okay, having that discrepancy. There's a lot of things we can do better. Being in gaps, being more disruptive, helping each other, all that sort of stuff.
What are you looking forward to be able to get? It's rough because it's the end of a 6-game trip, but you get to get back on the floor tomorrow against the Sixers.
Yeah. Disappointing trip for sure. I thought we had a chance to be better than what our record shows. Obviously, there's some good things to take away from it. Never obviously satisfied, but we're just excited. It's a great thing about the NBA. There's another one tomorrow, right? So excited to get back. Excited to play in front of our fans and get this figured out.
Bam, you guys got this thing knotted at 97, but it was uphill the entire way, and then trying to get over that particular hump was too hard. What were your view of what the biggest challenge was tonight?
I feel like in the fourth, we was trying to make our pushes, just rebounds weren't going our way. It was just like they was just making timely buckets after timely buckets, and I feel like that's where it kind of, we didn't have enough gas to get over that hump. And then obviously throughout the game, it was certain situations where miscommunications, mental lapses, and it's the little things that cost us that game.
Most of the time when you have nights like this, it's great to have the next game. I don't know how many of us embrace back-to-backs, but it does help when you're coming off a loss. But when you're coming off a trip like this into one, I assume that's the top of challenges.
Hey, man, they made the schedule. It's our job to play. We can't really talk about the schedule and, where we're going, what we're doing. Next game's most important right now.
28 points in the paint. Was that as much a matter of you guys not finishing so many short ones inside to even that out, or did you just feel them with the 62 more? Why that differential so huge like that?
I feel like we missed a lot of chippies around the rim, but it's basketball. Ball's round. Some days it's going to go in, some days it's not.
You come off this trip, you could have gone 500 on the trip and 500 on the season with a win. But were there some takeaways during this 2 weeks, 6 games that you feel you can build on?
100%. These last 3 games, last 4 games, I feel like we've put ourselves in great positions to win. We just fumbled. Certain mishaps, something happened. And then we go look at the film, and it's all the little things that, people don't think matter that matter.
Bam, I know you weren't flipping out about scoring at all, but how nice has it been to have these consecutive games now that are kind of right where you usually are?
I want the wins. Scoring is cool, but like I said, I'm a two-way player, man. I'm supposed to affect the game on both sides. So for me, it's good to see the basketball go in, but you don't feel good when you lose. So for me, I'm going a 30-0 streak right now, and I average 12 points and will not say a word.
Just trying to get a good start going. I know you guys were able to push back, but it was just tough kind of getting the engine rolling.
They came out with a little bit more urgency than us, and we talked about that before the game. We needed to come out with more, urgency. The same energy and effort that we brought Friday night wasn't going to be enough tonight, and we saw that in pretty much throughout the whole game.
Tough to get finishes in the paint and at the rim. It seems oxymoronic, but it's been that way a little bit this season for you all. But it also was a problem at the other end because they were getting almost everything they wanted in the paint.
We talked about that too. It was a paint game for us. We wanted to protect the paint as much as possible, and we didn't do that. We had the game plan and the plan to execute. We didn't do it. We just got to be better. We'll bounce back. We got another opportunity tomorrow, and that's what it's all about.
What are your expectations against Philly? They've obviously gotten off to a really tough start. There's a question mark on Joel for tomorrow, but it's another opportunity to get better at home.
Yeah, we need to protect home court. That's been a kind of something that we've been struggling with, early on throughout the year. But, we got some great fans at home, and we need to protect home court tomorrow.
You had a chance to go 500 on the trip today, a chance to go 500 on the season. Do you still feel gains were made over these enduring 2 weeks on the road? Do you feel there still might be a trend there to something better?
I think so. Our best player, Jimmy's missed the last 3 games. I think, at the end of the day, we didn't win as much as we wanted to on the road, but I think we put ourselves in position to win enough games. We just fell short with some execution things towards the end. A lot of it was defensively. I feel like Indiana got everything they wanted towards the end. But it's early in the season, but it's another 10 games. It's almost midpoint, midpoint. So at some point we had to turn it on and start taking this more serious. And I think we're still building our identity, and we'll be all right.
Tie the game. Halliburton 3-3. Anything particularly they did on those possessions to get back in there, or just a shot maker making shots?
The second one was just it was a very high IQ play. The first one, we're scrambling. The second one, he sped it up before we could get our matchups, and had some airspace, and launched it. He has a knack for the time they play. But when you leave it to that, where everything's got to go, perfect down the stretch, that's sometimes what you're susceptible to. For the most part, they were able to control the big muscle areas of the game, attacking us in the paint, whether it was drives, cuts, post-ups, offensive rebounds. That set the tenor of the game. We made a great comeback there, with shot making, but at that point, if you've gotten so many layups and paint attacks, then the 3-ball seems a lot easier. Turner hit a big one, as well. And, you just can't say enough about McConnell. He had 2 dagger shots there as well, the layup and the pull-up in the lane.
62-28 in the paint,
Yeah.
their advantage. Was it a matter of just their muscle, or you guys not finishing enough when you seemed like you had ample attempts also?
Yeah, I don't know necessarily off the top of my head how many layup attempts we had. We definitely missed a bunch, at the rim. But they had their fair share of not necessarily layups, but short attempts in the paint, cuts, some second chance opportunities, or late dishes that led to little floaters that aren't layups, but they're paint shots. And they've they really, set the tone with that type of aggressiveness. Those sometimes can be deflating plays if you miss layups and it ends up being a 4 or 5 point swing. But those things happen. If you're generating them, I'm good with it. But if we miss them, we can't lag back, and then it turned into an open shot going the other way. We'll definitely chart that. Any missed layup, what was our field goal percentage allowed on that very next possession?
Jaime injury going down there. Obviously, it's like almost you're never going to be whole, but where do you stand?
Yeah, that's one of the craziest ones. He just happened to be backpedaling back and stepped on McConnell's foot. He says he's fine. There's no way to know. Sprained ankles, we'll find out when we get to Miami.
Khalil being out of the rotation, what was the thought process having him play?
Just a little bit more. They were playing smaller lineups. Nico had done some good things at the 5. It's not at all an indictment on him.
Had a chance to get to 500. Instead, it's a 2-4 trip. Do you feel there were gains made on this, or is it still pushing the rock up the hill?
Yes, to both, for sure. We feel like we're making some strides of figuring out what our identity is to win basketball games, but also it's okay to be disappointed at the end result of this road trip, what the record was on it. Both things can be true. All right, thank you.